Welcome to our fifth annual. Holy smokes, I can't believe it's been 5 years for our North Carolina DIY fishing event. It's had definitely some evolution. It was originally pretty small. It's kind of been in different times of the year, and we're just continually going to be evolving. And we're really excited about hosting it in March, specifically to be a part of Forks of the River Fly Fishing and Music Festival. So that's why it's earlier this year, but just the value that all folks are going to get from that with the education, the fly tying, the music, the just community. It was a no-brainer to our event the same time as that festival. DIY fishing event. So what does that mean? I know many of you have probably already been to one of the iFishIBelong DIY fishing events, or maybe you haven't, or maybe you don't even know what DIY fishing is. So basically what these DIY fishing events are is that it's a format where iFishIBelong and whoever we partner with, which we've partnered with Headwaters, and we have 4 incredible co-hosts. So all of us, we go behind the scenes, we do all the work, or a lot of the work, looking at locations for you all to go. We help, put pins, we help share information on where to fish, what to fish, how to fish, what flies, what not. Basically, you are on your own with lodging as well as with food. We just provide a weekend and a location. We really try to focus on walk, wade, public access opportunities. That's a big part of our DIY fishing focus. We really want these events to be inclusive to all budgets. And that's really so we say low budget, huge impact. So that's kind of what our DIY events are. It is DIY, so it's do it yourself. So it's not guided. We will have a social fish day, but again, it's not guided. It's just our co-hosts are here to help. We really want to empower and share education and empower you with knowledge. But if you want to get a guide, then we'll share some opportunities and some different shops and other people that you can connect with if that is something that you are looking for. And all are welcome. So I know that this weekend, really excited to have the Women's Fishing and Symposium, the dinner. So we have a big focus on women, but know that everyone's welcome to these events. We want all people that support all people to really be a part of our iFishIBelong events. We focus also on all species, all techniques, all people. A lot of our events in the past and really this year have been fly fishing focused, but if you have a conventional rod and that's what you want to use, great. If you want to use Tenkara, if you want to use a spey rod, we are in support of all techniques as well as all species. So there's not just trout in Western North Carolina. You have a lot of options. It might be a little early, but there's still bass, there's panfish, there's carp, there's muskies. There's a lot of things other than trout too that you can fish for. Just quickly, iFishIBelong, I know many of you are familiar with it, maybe you're not. iFishIBelong is a nonprofit organization that was founded in November of 2023. United Women on the Fly is a program of iFishIBelong. So we have 4 different programs. We have All Kids Fish, so we are advocating for kids in fly fishing. We have Ubuntu Fly Anglers, where we advocate for Black and brown anglers. United Women on the Fly, where we advocate for women in fly fishing, and our DIY fishing events, which you all are going to be attending. That's advocating for all socioeconomic statuses. Truly trying to encompass that all species, all techniques, all people. We do a lot. Feel free to take a look. We just did our impact report, and holy moly, we have done a lot last year. Really incredible stuff, and so excited just to be able to partner with our co-hosts, with Western North Carolina, and just continue to just be mission driven, bring people into the sport, financial assistance, promoting that access and belonging. And we really want women to be seen. And North Carolina, specifically Headwaters and the whole entire crew, do such a great job. Well, partly because it is women owned, and just showcasing all of the incredible things that all people can do out on the water. As far as tonight, what we've done is we have basically created this presentation. So we hope to answer all of your questions. So in the Q&A, a lot of times what happens or when we open it up, everyone's like, I don't have any questions. That's our goal. If we did our job right, hopefully we've answered your questions within the presentation. Let's meet the co-hosts. Hannah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Man, Jessica always has to go before me.
I know.
No, I do alphabetical order because it is the most fair and equitable.
There you go. I always piggyback off Jessica, so I guess she gets the easy way out tonight. Anyways, my name's Hannah. I've worked at Headwaters for 10 years now. I've been guiding the majority of probably the last, I guess, 8.5 years, I guess, there. So originally from the area, originally from Rosman, so I grew up fishing all the creeks and rivers there and tromping through all the woods. So I think we live in one of the prettiest places in the country. Our fishing opportunities are pretty much endless. Like Heather said, there's a lot of species, there's a lot of different kinds of water there. So there's always kind of a room to pivot, if you have to, which is nice. But we're looking forward to meeting you guys and kind of walking through whatever you need help with over the weekend. If you need help with anything or suggestions, whatever it might be or entail, feel free to ask any of us because that's what we're there for. And yeah, we just look forward to having a great weekend with you guys. And we're looking really forward to the Women's Symposium and the festival too. So hope all of you guys are going to be joining us on that Friday night.
It's going to be awesome. And I'm Heather, founder of iFishIBelong and United, kind of a Jill of all trades. And I unfortunately will not be at the event, but the co-hosts that you have are going to be amazing. Jess, which I love your hair in this picture, by the way.
My bubble braid for my brown.
Love it.
Hey, I'm Jessica Whitmire. My family and my husband and I own Headwaters Outfitters. We are going on 34 years as a small family-owned business. And so I'm the second generation to be kind of at the lead and just really proud of our team and love our team and what we've kind of created with the festival. Is this our fifth festival too, Hannah? This is this is our fifth. Yep. So this will be our fifth year with the Fly Fishing and Music Festival, also evolved. And the last 5 years, we have been through a lot here in Western North Carolina. So we are very thankful for the support of you all and Heather and iFishIBelong to help us kind of navigate being able to still provide these events and do these things through 2 major floods and COVID and forest fires and everything you can think of has been thrown our way here lately. And our team and with the support of you, you all we're just really excited that we can do it again and we're ready.
It's awesome. Well, and the festival's kind of evolved too, as far as times and time of the year, right?
Yeah, we've been doing it in the fall, but it's just gotten so busy in the fishing and our guides was just getting a little crunchy in the fall. So we decided to move it to March so our guides could be a little bit more involved and also just drive a little bit more traffic here in the shoulder season to help support small businesses. So we can, winter is tough around here. So we're hoping that an early March festival will drive some short-term rentals and some restaurant action and retail and really be a good trickle effect for the community.
Awesome. And the fishing can be really good.
Oh, so, yeah. March is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Less pressure, very hungry fish. We like that. Lydia, your fish is so big it doesn't even fit on the screen.
That picture was taken last May, I guess.
Yeah, with
the cicada hat.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah, we caught a bunch of those. It was a lot of fun. And of course had my dog Laurel, who's also shown in this picture. So yeah, my name's Lydia Dan. I've been with Headwaters for 4 years, and this is also my 4th year as a co-host for this event. Every year, it's so fun. I make a new friend, at least 1 or 2 people that I end up staying in touch with on Instagram or wherever throughout the year. It's cool to pair it this year with the Fly Fishing Festival, which is a lot of fun. So I hope all people that come can make it to the festival, enjoy the music, and check out all the awesome vendors. I'm originally from Northern New York, and I lived in Buffalo, New York for a while. And that's actually where I learned to fly fish. So fish in the tributaries that come out of Lake Erie. And I moved to Asheville in 2020. I can't believe it. I don't know if it was 2021 or 2022, but I learned quickly that there was a lot more women fly fishermen in the South than there was in the North. And got in touch with Jessica, and she offered me a job at Headwaters, and I'm very happy here.
And she's getting married this year.
Yeah.
Yes. Woo woo. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
My fiance is here.
He's here. Alan's here.
That's awesome. Yes. Lydia, we're so happy that you are a part of this and just the continued. It's so nice too, just the continuity of all of our co-hosts. It just goes to show what a great event we have and partnership and just friendship, like you said. So awesome. Molly, Miss Molly B.
Hi, y'all. My name's Molly. I am from North Carolina, but had to transplant to the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia. But it's kind of sweet. I'm pretty close to the Western North Carolina areas and for some nice fishing in that area. I have been fly fishing for maybe about 5 years, so I'm still. That's my dog playing home security system. But no, I've been fly fishing for about 5 years. And I would say that I think I've been attending the events from a attendee to a co-host for the last 4 years, I think. So I'm a proud member to be part of the iFishIBelong team to help support their continued efforts to provide equality and representation across the waters.
And that's a big part of it too, is, with iFishIBelong, really trying to cultivate leaders. And it's so great to watch Molly take the class to come to not even knowing her and now one of my bestest friends, and just watch that progression of being a participant to now being the lead co-host. It's amazing. So as far as where we're going to be, some land acknowledgement. We're in Western North Carolina. We always try to just look at the different lands and the original people of the lands that we're on. You can go into Fish Cherokee and also look that up, as well as to the areas that will be location wise. So Rosman Brevard, the event, the actual fishing festival will be in Brevard at Deerwood Reserve. And then we're going to be doing our social fish. We'll be meeting in Rosman. So kind of both of those areas. Asheville's about an hour. You're pretty close to a lot of major airports, which is really great, but you're still far enough away as well. New this year, our website has forever been evolving. This whole event, if you were to have come to the first one to now, it looks a lot different and it's definitely much more organized. This year, we're really excited to offer North Carolina. So each specific event has its own set of web pages. So we have our own personal menu for North Carolina specifically, because in the past, there's so much information, it gets kind of lost in just one page. So if you go into Fish North Carolina, you can click on registration. It'll give you that information, itinerary, travel, fishing, all the fishing information about education, how you can connect with other folks, stuff about the forks on the river, and then the FAQ and logistics. So this website is always being updated. So as we're tweaking our itinerary or adding additional things or whatever it might be. So our suggestions is really utilize this website, go to it. If you're on your phone, you'll click on, you'll see the logo here and there'll be 3 dashes. Click on that menu and you'll be able to find all of these specific menus. FAQ and logistics, that might be your go-to for the event weekend, because what we've done is we've updated a lot of the information that we're going to be sharing in this Q&A. Again, we are up for suggestions. We're always evolving. So if you find that it's hard to navigate, or if you think that we can do better somehow, we will be sending out a survey and we read the surveys. So please let us know how we can, what we're doing well, but also how we can improve. We want to continue to evolve and get better. One evolution is that we have created our own Google map for this event. So pretty incredible. The Google map is actually on the itinerary page, travel, fishing, and FAQs. It's on a lot of spots, so you'll be able to find it. But what we've done here is we've pinned different locations, like where registration and the social locations will be, the different fly shops. We've also pinned, all of these pins are actually DIY fishing areas. Utilize this Google map for sure. I will state though that Western North Carolina, the service can be a little iffy. You might be going up a hill and then down a hill. You may not have service. So while you have service, make sure that you go into your directions and you say go to while you still have service. Communications. In the past, again, all about evolution, we only had a Facebook group. The Facebook group is to connect. This is where you ask questions. This is where we'll share some information. You share your photos. You meet up with people and say, hey, does anybody want to share a boat? Anybody want to share lodging? Kind of that communication and that connection aspect. However, we know that not everyone uses Facebook, or some people don't want to use it. And we want to be inclusive to all ages. And let's be real, a lot of the younger crew does not even use Instagram, right? So they're not going to use Facebook. So we're also looking at that. We're evolving. And so what we've done is now we have a WhatsApp group as well. This WhatsApp, it's a free app. It's used across the world. And we've actually created 2 different groups for North Carolina. The first one is going to be the North Carolina Angler Connect. So this is going to be the exact same thing as the Facebook group, where you post photos, you ask questions, you meet up, talk to people, whatever you want to be. It's kind of that connection part. All of our co-hosts are a part of it. We'll let you into it, and you can just share away. We've also created a logistics WhatsApp channel. So this channel is going to be only for logistics. So meaning, like, we'll share the itinerary. When emails go out, we'll say, hey, an email just went out. We want to keep this specific channel just to logistics. If you want to connect and share photos, that's where that connection channel is going to be. And in all reality, more than likely, we're probably going to get rid of our Facebook group because it's kind of evolving out, honestly. Here's some QR codes, and we'll be handing out this presentation. Our event partners, so we have POF, Pisgah Area Women Fly Fishing. If you haven't seen them or done anything with them, you need to, because they are continually doing fly tying, they're doing meetups, but also it's always nice to have some fresh faces that may want to lead some different events too within the women's group. And of course, Headwaters, we've partnered with them for the last 6 years pre-event, and have just been the staple partnership, I would say, for United on the Fly and iFishIBelong for our actual existence. Other sponsors, Davidson River Outfitters, they're a part of the Forks of the River Festival. Fly Fish Instruct gives a lot of the education. Trout Route, we did have a scholarship, which we awarded a scholarship winner, so Trout Routes helped pay for that. And then Ubuntu and United Women on the Fly, they are programs of iFishIBelong, but then they've also been financially sponsoring dinners and folks to come as well. So pretty excited. As far as meals, you're on your own. Your registration does include Friday night dinner, which you will get an RSVP. We'll be sending you out a form link for that. Everything else, there'll be food and beverage opportunities to purchase at the different festivals. And then camping and lodging, you're also responsible for your own lodging. But Deerwood Reserve, they still have a few cabins left, so you can use a coupon code and get a discount. You Airbnb, kind of look. And if you go onto our website under travel, we have other suggestions for that as well.
And most of the cabins that they have left are their bigger cabins.
Yeah.
So if like 2 or 3 people wanted to share a cabin, kind of be ideal, because it's like 2 or 3 bedroom cabins they have left. So
yeah, absolutely. So registration. So what's included in your $50? You get a lot for this. Last year we partnered with Cling to get Cling magnets. This year we're partnering with them again to do a temperature tape. This is where it's like a little piece of tape basically that you can put on your net handle, and it shows, put it in the water and it will show you about what it is, as we continue to be mindful about fish, about being stressed in the water. A really great, easy piece of equipment. Also, the rising coil leash. I don't know about y'all, but I used to lose so many hemostats until I put a leash on, and now my leash is on my waders and I have not lost a pair of hemostats. So we're also partnering with Rising to get these coils too. So put your hemostats, or it could be on your fishing bag, on your waders, whatever it might be. You also get admission into Women in Fly Fishing Dinner and Symposium. So your registration includes dinner for this, also includes just a general admission ticket to the festival as well. If you wanted VIP, sit a little closer to the amazing music artist, or there's a couple of casting seminars that cost some money. But other than that, like a lot of the seminars, the fly tying demonstrations, all of that is included in your registration. And we're super excited to bring 3 incredible women to the dinner, and also to be able to speak really about their stories, who they are, and just the connections. And you get to learn a lot. And all three of these women, they live in different areas, have different stories to share. It's going to be really an incredible opportunity to sit there and be a part of it. And then a Sunday morning social fish. So Sunday, we're still working on the details. That will all come in your final email. But basically meet at Headwaters at 9 a.m. and go out and fish. Now, if you're looking for solitude on the water, this is not it. However, if you're looking for community and connection and education, this is it. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. You get access to virtual education this spring. I know it's winter, but really probably for you all, it's you're having some spring-like conditions. And in all honesty, where I live in Spokane, Washington, we have snow now, but it's spring here. So these are all great techniques. And you can see there is some snow. So I do talk a lot about colder, kind of winter into spring. So another great opportunity for y'all to, and you have access to that. We have 25% off discount code for any of the Headwaters locations. So you have Rosman, you also have Brevard, and then you can also shop online. So your discount code is IFIB 2026, and we will be sharing all of this in your final email as well. So you'll have access to that. And then if you want some iFishIBelong swag, we don't have a lot left, but what we do, we're happy to ship on to you. There's that opportunity as well. All right, Miss Molly.
So again, welcome. Thank you all for joining this evening. Something that we thought we would kind of do is a little bit of a kickoff. This is going to be on Thursday evening. So any of you guys that get in early, please feel free to join us. Not required to, obviously, but we would love for you to network, get to know some future fishing buddies. That'll be Thursday evening at 6 o'clock. That time will be, the specific location is still in the works. So we'll be sure to include that in the final email. And again, as you can see on here in the WhatsApp. The fun thing about that is that, you might find somebody that's going to be in the next day's activities. So there is an additional class option that is on Friday morning that is from 9 to 1 o'clock. That is the Independent Anglers Workshop. This is exactly what it says. You're learning how to be more independent. You'll be learning on some private waters in a beautiful location. It's a wonderful environment. It really will provide a lot of information that there's some things that I've still learned when I go to these events and these classes. If you're interested, there's still room to sign up, so we'd love for you to join us. Our co-host will be helping to lead that class. Again, when you go to the North Carolina DIY Fishing event page, you'll see the link for that registration course. And then you'll have the afternoon to fish, take a nap, anything that you'd really like to do, explore downtown Brevard. And as mentioned previously, is that there is a women-focused symposium. And that will be where you'll be able to pick up your registration packets. Then we'll have our dinner, we'll have our guest speakers, some extra little surprises, and then the symposium will begin. As you've seen, we've got 3 main speakers that are going to be there that evening. It's going to be so exciting. And then we have a roundtable, so there'll be opportunities to ask questions and be more engaged. And then after that, there's nothing better than being in the mountains and having a bonfire. So we look forward to you guys coming out and joining us that Friday evening for all things included. Just a FYI, there will be, with dinner options, I think I did see that we were going to have some gluten-free options. I think maybe vegetarian options. Jess, do you want to speak anything else about the Friday night event?
Yeah, it's just going to be great. We have a local caterer here in town. He does a lot of our events for us. He's wonderful. It's locally sourced food. He always provides a great vegetarian option. He always makes anything gluten-free. He'll always have a gluten-free side available. And then he'll have always a meat or two to select from. So he does a fabulous job. Hannah and I work with him several times a year for a lot of our corporate groups. He does a lot of our catering, and we are very excited. And the venue that we're having the festival is pretty magical in itself. Like, just the setting of the venue is right on the French Broad River. It is absolutely beautiful. The family that has kind of renovated this old boys camp has done a great job. And at night, the festival is fun, but being able to do this event at night and have like a bonfire outside, it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're really looking forward to that. So if there's any questions at all on that, we will have some music. We do have some music coming. So we'll have, while we're hanging out with the bonfire, we'll have some background music. Hopefully you like bluegrass, because we have bluegrass all weekend because we're in Western North Carolina. And Honestly, there's going to be like 3 Grammy Award bluegrass musicians on the stage throughout the weekend. So you're going to see some of the best of the best. Woody Platt and his band playing on Saturday are incredible. You don't want to miss them. And the band we have coming Friday night, they're pretty special to us. They're a kind of Headwaters house band, and they're magical too. So yeah, if you have any questions on that event, please let me know. Reach out anytime.
And RSVPs tomorrow, you'll be getting an email, just a follow-up with the recording and everything. Also with a link to RSVP. Really, RSVPing helps our team just make sure we have enough food, logistics, and all of that. So we just ask that you please RSVP if you're coming for that dinner. Again, it's all included in your registration by March 4th. So you'll get that in your email.
A couple of quick questions about this. So it sounds like both the Bluegrass Festival and the Friday night dinner are at the same place, right? This Deerwood Reserve, right? Okay. And so for the dinner, are we ordering once we're there, or do they have like 3 options already set up?
It's going to be a buffet style. It'll be buffet style, and they'll have the options all laid out.
Okay, great. And then another question about the festival: is it only open to people who are on the fishing weekend with iFishIBelong?
No, it's going to be open to the public. Yeah, we actually already have like 200 people signed up for Saturday's event.
Okay.
So the spots for Wanda Taylor's casting classes are getting a little slim. So if you would like to sign up, I highly recommend it. Wanda is an incredible casting instructor. So I highly recommend, if you want some work on your casting, to hop into one of her clinics. Let me know. We were going to go over this. Reach out. If you'd like to sign up for one of those clinics, it'll be easiest just to reach out to me and email me and say that you want to do it, and I'll get you signed up.
Okay, so here's the thing. My niece lives in Gatlinburg, and she wants to come over for part just to fish with us or go to the music. Yeah, but she wouldn't come to the dinner. So if I email you separately, can we figure out how I can?
Yeah, and tickets are $5 on our website. So if you go to Headwaters, she can just buy a $5 ticket, and that gets her into everything for Saturday, other than those 2 casting clinics.
Okay, great. That's awesome. Thank you. And Pam, did you have a question too? I saw you raise your hand. I'm going to pass the popcorn to you.
So again, Saturday, the good thing is the festival is starting just a little bit later in the morning. So that gives you early risers the opportunity to get out on the waters and enjoy, the local tributaries and the main rivers and such in your neck of the woods, depending on if you're camping, if you're Airbnb-ing, if you've got a hotel. You've got quite a few options to choose from. And also within the website, in your email communications, you'll have tons of pins to choose from. So get your fishing in early in the morning, buy some extra gear if you need it, and then come on down to the festival. Again, it's open from 11 o'clock until. So there will be, again, music, classes, fly tying, all different types of festivities. There will be booths, and we'll have an iFishIBelong booth up there. And that's where you'll find me and some of our other teammates and friends at. And again, like you said, there's going to be music all day long. It's going to be unbelievable. I truly can't believe that we've got these headliners here that are going to be performing. I'm really excited to see them. So again, just come out and join us. If you have any questions about the event, where we're at, what we're doing, just come out.
Here's the seminar. So as Jessica said, everything is free other than these casting seminars with Wanda. So there's the beginner from 11 to 12:30, and then 2:30 to 4 is the advanced casting. Here's Jessica. It's Jessica at headwatersoutfitters.com. So just send her an email if you're interested and want to get that. But everything else, it just shows the seminar schedule. And all of this is listed on our website. You'll also be receiving all of it via the 2 emails that you're going to get prior to the event as well. Here's the fly tying stuff.
I will say that we have been known to sometimes celebrate a little bit into the evenings, but then we're also up a little slow and steady, but we're up early the next mornings to do some fishing with some friends. So this is going to be our social fish. This will be the last chance to pick up any packets. I think we're still doing a packet pickup on that Sunday. But if not, I'll have them there at the shop. But we'll have a social fish. We'll predetermine the location. And I believe we're going to have a fantastic little coffee food truck at the shop that might be open at 8.
As long as they don't sell out on Saturday. That was the only thing. But if they sell out on Saturday, because they'll be at the festival, then they're gonna make just regular coffee for us to have in the shop. So as long as there will be regular coffee no matter what. But hopefully they can't open because they sell out on Saturday. And they
totally.
That'll be nice. Yeah. We've got some great food trucks and coffee trucks that are a part of the Headwaters Outfitter families. So we definitely love and support those folks. But yeah, we'll have our opportunity to fish social. Again, this will be an opportunity to fish with folks that you haven't fished with yet, folks that you just met the day before. And again, this is for everybody. So again, you don't have to be just a fly fisherman, your fly rod. If you've got your niece or nephew that you want to bring out with you and they've got a spinner rod, so be it. The more the merrier. And I really do just hope to hear cheers going down the river as people are catching and you're netting for each other. One of the biggest things that I continue to tell people about these events is that A, it really is like a family, and B, you're going to get so much more out of it than the little bit that you're willing to put in. If you just step a little bit outside of your comfort zone and say hello to someone you've never met, introduce yourself and ask what someone's doing, or hey, where did you get that cool gadget from, or anything of that effect. Just be willing to open yourself up a little bit more, and you'll be amazed, because I opened myself up and accidentally signed up for one of these classes. And for the past 2 years, I have driven out to the Pacific Northwest to spend months out there fly fishing and exploring. I've attended the Oregon events, the Montana events. So you'll be surprised. Once you kind of, get into the DIY events with us, you're in it for the thick and thin. Okay, so lastly, I'm going to talk about the registration pickups. So we'll be having those Friday evening before, and I'll have them also after. But if you can try to pick them up before at 5:30 for the symposium, we'll have the iFishIBelong table out there. You can pick things up there. And then all throughout the event on Saturday, more specifically from 11 to 4, we'll have a couple of teammates out there with us, sharing the love about iFishIBelong and our programs. So you can pick up your packet then. And then again on Sunday morning at the Headwaters Outfitters. And on here, please note, I am not going to be stuck to my email, but if you text me, I will respond. You can do the WhatsApp if you like, but if you just want to text me, just send me your name. And if you do decide you want to go fishing by yourself, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we're not going to shun that. But just kind of have an accountability partner. And if you don't know anybody and you still haven't felt comfortable reaching out to someone, please feel free to just let me be your buddy. So you can text me and let me know if you need anything from that perspective. Regarding the event locations, so again, as Jess has mentioned, the Deerwater Reserve is so beautiful. It's amazing when the sun is setting, and it's gorgeous when it's the middle of the day and you've got all the insects that are spawning and jumping out every which direction, and it makes you want to itch and go fishing immediately. The venue is gorgeous. You've got bathrooms, you've got parking, so you'll have that option. And then Headwaters actually has 2 locations. So they have their original Rosman location, and then they have also opened up a location in downtown Brevard. If you need to get any materials and supplies or merch, please feel free to shop at either of those 2 locations. And then again, the Independent Angler Workshop is going to be at a private water location. So you will have the course for the first half, and then you actually go out and start fishing on the water and using some of those techniques that you've learned. And it really is, it's some of the most beautiful fishing you'll ever see. And some of the brown trouts, they are humongous. There's still one in that river that I'm determined to get. But it still haunts me.
Jamie lost it 2 days ago.
Oh.
It wouldn't fit in his net. His net wasn't big enough.
Oh, that's a good problem to have. That's awesome. And all the locations, as mentioned, will be all on the Google map. So Annie, this was actually created because of your suggestion like 5 years ago. So thank you so much. Like, we do listen. So those surveys and suggestions, we listen to y'all. So yeah, Annie, this is because of you. So
this is awesome. I've got chills. I really do. Thank you so much. My toes are wiggling. Yes.
Yeah. Well, evolution, we all, just things get better. So yeah, yes. Thank you so much. So
thank you.
All right. DIY fishing, Headwater crew.
Hannah put this together a couple years ago. Just because we do. So one thing about Western North Carolina is we have a lot of terrain change, right? So you'll be lower elevation, kind of easier access. And then we also have gorge fishing and high elevation, high mountain streams. So always kind of watch where you're going, kind of just do a little education about the elevation and where you're going to be fishing. And we put this chart together to kind of help with that. These are the most popular. There is a lot more. The nice thing about it is from the festival ground and from our shop, there's over 200 miles of trout streams within 15 minutes, right? So you can be on water very easily and then be at the festival in 20 minutes. And so we put this together because these are the main rivers. We have the East Fork, which will be kind of utilized a lot, probably for our social hang. It is a delayed harvest, and they are stocking 3 days before everybody arrives. So we nailed that date, So that is going to be a catch and release only, single hook, artificial only stretch of water we can fish. Little River is the same. Both easier access, kind of park and like roadside fishing where you just kind of park and hop right in. And then we have some of the smaller creeks like Avery's Creek, Mills River, the West Fork of the French Broad. Those are going to be a little bit more walking, wading, kind of hiking in. And then you have the Davidson River, which can be easy wading, but a little tougher fishing. It can be dynamic. I will say our waters are a little low. We do have some good rain over the next 2 weeks in the forecast. So fingers crossed, help us, wish us some rain. I know everyone kind of countrywide is facing some low water issues. So we are not indifferent from that. So we are, I looked out there today and I was like, oh, we really need some rain. So hopefully over the next 2 weeks, we'll get a little bit of rain and that will help that. But the Davidson is just a little bit more technical. Those fish are spooky. They have been through a lot. They have been through Fred. They've been through Helene. All their homes have changed drastically twice in the last 4 years. So, and that's the same on all of our streams, but the Davidson is definitely, we've seen the most effect as far as how the fish are responding. The Davidson Gorge and the North Fork River Gorge, please don't go in by yourself. Please, if you are going to adventure in those are the toughest of tough, and those are dangerous. Beautiful, great fishing, but you want to do some research. You don't want to get in there and get hurt. There's no cell service. That is definitely backcountry. So those are just the highlights. Again, if you have questions on any of these streams, you can reach out, send us an email. We will be very honest with you. Your safety is our priority. We know these streams really well. We kind of, we utilize them a lot. And we want y'all to have a good time. So we want you to get places where you are going to hopefully see some success fishing wise, but also just enjoy it without getting yourself into any kind of predicament.
And we just pinned a lot of just the more common spots too that are on that Google Drive. And there's also, North Carolina, y'all are so lucky because the map access to everything is really incredible. So here's a great link that you can go into just to learn further map areas too of all of the different areas that you can fish.
Yeah, so we want to kind of reiterate, we are the land of the waterfalls. That is what we are known for. That is Transylvania County. We have over 200 waterfalls, 252, I believe. Lydia might know that exact number. She's our hiking guide. And they can be dangerous and they can be deadly. So we kind of just reiterate, be really smart when you're wading. Don't wade above a waterfall, please. Especially with our low water, if we do get some rain towards the spring, we can get these afternoon thunderstorms where the river will come up pretty quickly. So just know where you're at and don't wade above a waterfall. The prettiest view is from below, so where you can see the waterfall. And that's a lot of times where the fish are too, or in the pools underneath the waterfalls. So just be mindful of that. That's going to be mostly on like the North Fork Gorge, the Davidson River. Those are where DuPont has a lot of waterfalls. So just be aware of your surroundings. Most of our public lands have everything posted really well.
And equipment, if you need to borrow equipment, between iFishIBelong and Headwaters, we have some, assortment of boots, waders, as well as rods and reels. So if you need to borrow anything, just fill out the form by the 23rd of February. And fishing license, you need a fishing license. And is there anything, no special?
Yeah, so there's no trout stamp. Just be aware that there is a mountain heritage trout fishing license and a inland fishing license. You need the inland fishing license. Don't let that mountain heritage license confuse you. That is for the Cherokee area and over towards the Great Smokies. Most of you will probably not be fishing that far away from us, so you will need that inland fishing license. They have a 10-day or a year option.
Cool.
Yeah, hire a guide. We work, we work really well with Davidson River Outfitters. They have some incredible guides. We have a great guide staff. If you do want to book a guide, I would recommend doing it like tomorrow or yesterday if you can. It's a busy time of year for us, so our guides are filling up really quickly. And with the forecast, with some rain and warm weather, people are calling a lot. So if you do think you want to do a guide for any time during the weekend, definitely recommend you getting that on the books pretty quickly. Fish species we have here, we have our native brook trout. We call them their speckled trout. So if you're, out hanging out at the bar and they ask if you catch a speckled trout, they are meaning our native brook trout. We also have a stocked brook trout variation on our delayed harvest streams, but mostly on those delayed harvest streams, you're going to see those brown trout and rainbow trout. You can catch wild and stocked on most of those lower elevation waters. So know that feel free to take a picture if you want to know what, if it's wild or stocked. We can help you with that. Sometimes it's a holdover stalker that looks really close to a wild trout, but any of our co-hosts will be happy to help you kind of make that call. And then we do have largemouth and smallmouth. Of course, guide recommended. There's only a few places that you can wade for smallmouth, and it's just not kind of the ideal time, but there are some big smallmouth getting caught right now. So, and then the striped bass, it's a great time of year for our striped bass. However, that is going to have to be on a boat and probably about an hour drive to get to some of our rivers that feed the lakes, and they are running right now. So the striped bass would be good, but that's going to be a guide trip. Equipment, just your average, your 4 to 6 weight is going to be fine. A 9'5" weight is a great rod to have here. You can get smaller if you want to do a little creek rod, but 4 to 6 weight, 9-foot rod is great. You're going to want a floating line. And you can always, right now with the water conditions, you're not going to have to use a lot of split shot. So unless that changes, you're just going to want a floating line with probably a 9-foot. You might have to get a little longer if you fish the Davidson than some of these other places with your leader setups. We'll talk about that in a minute. And you're probably looking at 5.5x to 6.5x right now, as far as your leader and tip go, just with the clarity, with the visibility and the depth. Western North Carolina is a rainforest. Always bring your rain jacket. Don't get stuck without a rain jacket. It rains here out of nowhere. Spring, dress in layers, boots and waders, and of course the polarized sunglasses. Just your basics. But if you have any questions on that, let us know. And yeah, our hatch chart. Another thing, we have a hatch chart on our website. This hatch chart, we're going to be looking at some BWOs. We're seeing some great dry fly action on these warmer days during that heat of that day. You're going to have some blue quills the March browns have been coming off. Actually had the midges have been very strong lately. The black Zemer midge apparently is working really well over on the East Fork. But a guy came in the other day and said he caught like 15 fish on like a small chubby Chernobyl. So it's great. Yeah. Just really never tell. Some fly suggestions. Both of our shops have a updated fly board. So kind of each week we'll kind of see what's working and get those boards updated as we can. My favorite, the Jedi Master. And I always have to throw that one out. A dry dropper rig is a great choice this time of year to start out, especially at this water level. Kind of starting out with a dry dropper rig is going to be a good way to go. And you can't go wrong with a girdle bug here. And I'm going to turn it over to Hannah, and she's going to talk about some leader examples.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm going to go back to what Jessica just said. If you drop into either one of our stores, even if you don't know if you don't know what a girdle bug is, it doesn't matter. That's okay. Just come by the store and say, hey, I'm going to go fish this creek or this river or whatever, and we can just set you up with a fly puck that will have the appropriate flies. That's what we do on a daily basis anyways, because the flies on the Davidson River are not going to be the same flies that we're going to suggest if you're fishing the East Fork. So we want to make sure that you guys have what you need. So in both of our locations, there's always going to be a fishy person at either one. So feel free to drop by and just let us know that, and we can hook you up with the right flies for the day. Like Jessica was saying too, kind of the same thing with a leader. Let us know if you guys need leaders whenever you come, because it's going to be different too if you're going to go fish the East Fork where there's been fresh fish thrown in there versus the Davidson where they're going to know if you have a 4X leader and they're not going to eat your flies. So we can get you kind of set up with what you need. The dry fly leader example there, we tend to kind of favor longer leaders, longer, lighter leaders for just single dry fly setups, just because the flies this time of year, they do vary in size. So you don't want a tiny fly with a thicker leader. So we can help you kind of sort through that stuff. A 5X to 6X. I kind of prefer 6X territory when I'm fishing a single dry fly, just a little bit more stealthy in the water, lets them kind of see the actual fly over the fly and the leader for those selective fish that you might run into. And the subsurface leaders, again, you know, it might vary on where you're at. You can probably get away with a 4X leader if you're fishing the East Fork. And I would suggest it because especially if you're new to fishing, fly fishing specifically, if you're fishing a heavier duty leader, the likelihood of you breaking off fish is less. So a 4X leader, one, you can get the fish in a little bit quicker because your break off rate, it's not going to be nearly as high. If they seem a little pesky, you might have to size up or down rather to a 5 or a 6X leader. The dry dropper stuff, I prefer a thicker leader going into the dry fly. I love this thing that Heather's put together because typically if we do dry droppers around here, it's going to be a chubby Chernobyl of whatever color, whatever size, which we have plenty of all of those at both shops. It's going to be a chubby Chernobyl, drop down to probably a 5 or 6X piece of tippet to your preferred nymph down there. Thankfully, I see you have 5 to 7X. We're not in 7X territory quite yet, and I'm really thankful for that. So you can get away with all weekend. If all you had in your bag was 5X leaders, 5X tippet, you're probably going to be okay. I always really enjoy that buffer of a 4X to a 6X, but 5X is kind of the happy medium for our locations around here.
And if Becca's here, if she was here on this call, she'd be telling you to fish a micro girdle bug.
Oh, 100%. But I think chubby Chernobyls, not just, it's anywhere in the world, y'all. So like to have a dry dropper, you put a chubby on, like you're going to catch a trout anywhere in the world with it. It's awesome. So your box of flies can go anywhere with you.
And they're just low maintenance. Like I know some people that really love like a bigger elk hair caddis for their top fly. And there's nothing wrong with that, except I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to have to be putting floating on it throughout my day. If you use a foam bodied dry fly, you don't really have to do that. So the chubby kind of just holds its own, and it's just a great indicator too. Plus they eat it. You can see it really well. That's my preferred dry fly if I'm doing that. And then we can fish double nymph rigs around here as well. Especially if we get some rain, which hopefully we do, where our water is going to be a little bit deeper. The double nymph rigs with an indicator up top is awesome. It's a lot of fun, especially on those DH sections or the delayed harvest sections where they've just put fish in. You kind of just give them, I call it the continental breakfast coming through. You're basically, the river's just a conveyor belt of food. So if you're fishing double nymph rig, you've got all kinds of things kind of tumbling through that water column to those fish, and they tend to really be receptive of that. And we'll go over, of course, kind of what tends to work better on the top versus the bottom and all that stuff with you if you have questions, but the double nymph rig is a great way to go. And the streamer leader. This is where you can kind of rope up on them, as we call it. So definitely no 6X, 7X leaders here. You can use a chunkier, thicker leader. You can go, 3, 4, 5X, depending on where you're at. I like the 4X for that just because it's not as visible, but it's still really sturdy. So whenever you have an aggressive fish that takes it, you're not going to break off on them. But they're also not going to have a giant piece of mono, 20-pound piece of mono coming through there either. And a shorter one, depending on the rod size you have, a shorter leader, I feel tends to kind of turn the streamers over a little bit better, especially if you've got a really heavy one, just to make it a little bit easier to cast.
And as you're like kind of figuring out what you want to, which setup you want to fish, we're all different in our casting abilities and what setups we feel the most comfortable casting. I will say if the water levels stay the way they are right now, pick your stealthiest leader setup to fish first. So if you feel the most comfortable throwing like a light dry fly, just start with a light dry fly. If you feel like you can cast a streamer the best, cast a streamer, start with a streamer. But what you don't want to do right now at this water level is spook them. So just kind of be thinking about what approach and what cast that you have the most confidence in and start there, and then make some changes as you're fishing if you're not getting any bites or seeing any action.
You have questions, like let's say you don't even know what tip it is, just ask the co-host, ask people, as you go to the festival, come to the iFishIBelong booth and ask questions. And, we're here to help answer the questions that we can, for sure. So, so we have 5 more minutes. So I just want to kind of go through our final thoughts and our to-dos. One is safety. As Molly mentioned, is fish with a partner. You may be coming solo. And actually, I think it was like 57% of anglers that do a DIY fishing event come solo. Pretty cool. But then you never leave solo. You always make friends. Safety in numbers, and just being mindful as to where you're fishing. The cell phone coverage is very limited. So again, being mindful of that, letting people know where you're at, all of that. And also if you're sick. So if you're sick, we'd love to see you, but we don't want to see you. We don't want to continue. We don't want to get sick either. So just and that could be COVID, that could be the flu, that could be a cold, that could be whatever it might be. And just know, just monitoring weather conditions and just dressing appropriately. As Jessica and everyone's mentioned, you're in a rainforest, so it could rain. Keep an eye on the logistics portion of the WhatsApp group. We'll say, something to that effect too, like, hey, watch the waters and that. And the great thing about Western North Carolina is if it does rain, it tends to be that a river will blow out, but then there's always rivers that blow out, but then there's always rivers that come back into shape. So in the area, because there's so much water, it seems like there's always something fishable. So just, keep an eye on that. And disclaimer, we're here. We want to make sure that all people are here. They feel welcome. They feel seen. So if at any time you have any situation, just drama of any kind is not tolerated, period. Please reach out to us as the co-hosts, and we're here to just ensure and make sure that you have an enjoyable time and a great weekend. Contact. So in the contact, Molly is going to be your primary contact. She gave her phone number, and it's going to be on the website. It's also going to be on your final email. So utilize, as Molly said, she's not going to be married to her email during the weekend, but text. So please text Molly, and I will ensure and make sure that you have that phone number. And final North Carolina checklist. So we're 2 weeks away. As mentioned, please RSVP for that dinner. This will just help us ensure that we have enough food, and your dinner's included in your ticket. We just want to make sure that you're coming. I know some people can come, some people can't. Independent Angler Workshop. Don't miss out on this opportunity. This is an incredible opportunity. 4-hour workshop, and an hour and a half of that is going to be on private water where you get to fish, and then those instructors are going to be walking around helping. So really incredible opportunity to learn and just become independent, and just stepping up your fly fishing game. WhatsApp, again, download this app. And maybe you've never used it before. It's super easy. It's like if text and email had a baby. It's really amazing. And again, it's nice because it is encrypted, and it's the #1 app used in the world. Borrow equipment. So please fill out this form by February 23rd. And utilize the website. We want to make sure that you have the resources, everything that you need in order to be successful for this DIY fishing weekend. Email Jess. So if you want to do one of these casting seminars, please email Jessica or know. Co-host Jessica, Hannah, Lydia, Molly, anything to add? I feel like we covered so much, but anything else that we missed or you'd want to say better?
I don't think so. The seminars, I know you just said that, but the seminars at the festival, they're great. I guess everybody is local except for Wanda. So we all have
yeah.
Well, and Britta, yeah. So we, there's all kinds of knowledge that'll be wrapped up in that, and it's all, professionals that are going to be leading those. So I would definitely, if you guys are going to be hanging out at the festival, you don't have to go to all of them, but I would kind of really look over that schedule and see what's on there to see if there's 1 or 2 or 3 that really kind of, resonate with you that you might want to look into. They're free. It's easy. You just pop into the seminar tent. You don't even have to stay in there the whole time. I have people, we normally do one seminar at each event or each festival, and you can come in, pop out, whatever you want to do. They're great to take advantage of though while you're just already there. So definitely look over that and just kind of see which one you want to check out.
Awesome. Yeah, and opening it up to other questions from anyone else, like the community. I hope we answered on most of your questions, but yeah, any additional questions that you all might have while you have all of us in one spot, one room?
I have a question, and I can ask her. But with Wanda, do you know if she's going to be, when she's doing her casting? Is it just like a 5-weight, or is she going to have an 8 or something like that?
You're going to bring your own rod for Wanda's class. So if you do take Wanda's class, you'll take your own equipment. If you need equipment for that class, just reach out to Lydia, Hannah, or I, because we'll have rods there. You can borrow one of ours for the class. She'll, like, a 9-foot 5-weight would be fine for that class. But you just bring your own rod. And if you need one, let us know.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Great question. Anything else? I haven't been checking the chat. I think we're good. Wow. Yeah.
Awesome.
I guess just bring cash to the festival too.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be beer tents and whatnot there and food trucks. So if you have some cash that you can get ahead of time, it might be helpful.
It is easier than the service is.
The service is not the best.
They can take cards. It's just a little slower.
Is there going to be any jewelry? I mean, let's talk about the important things now.
Yeah, we got jewelry, we got pottery. Debbie, if you know Debbie, she's part of our POF. She's leading fly tying right now for us right down the road. She'll be selling her pottery, and we have Moonlight Crow Creations, who is always very popular, selling her jewelry. We have what would you call Ashley? She kind of like repurposes old clothes and she patches them up, and they're awesome. Like, her stuff's so great.
Cool. Yeah. Perfect.
With the pottery that Deb makes, a lot of it is like fish-ish related. I know she's branched out, but I have got one of her brown trout mugs. And it's just, I get compliments on it every time anybody sees it. So it's rock solid.
She's actually making custom vases for Friday night's event that will be for sale at Friday night. So you can take a centerpiece home, and it'll be a custom pottery piece that Debbie will be making.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Now that's a treat.
Yeah.
That's awesome. A really nice touch.
Well, without any other questions, thank you all so much just for spending the hour with us, listening to us. Hopefully most of your questions were answered. We're all here for you as well. I'm going to send an email probably tomorrow with that RSVP link, as well as the other links that we talked about, kind of that final checklist and to-dos. And you will be getting a final email as well. And utilize the website. So all of that is updated, and so you'll be able to kind of navigate through that. And in WhatsApp, I know sometimes you're using an app that you may not know or you may feel uncomfortable, but I guarantee you're going to like this app. It's pretty, and you can turn your notifications on or off or whatnot. And Molly will every day, she will be posting, or actually each evening, the evening before, she'll be posting the agenda and schedule of the next day in the logistics WhatsApp. So that way you all will have that. It's a great go-to place. And again, this is just that evolution of our events over the last 5 years, and they only get bigger, they only get better, truly, and more organized. And we're just really happy that you all have chosen us and chosen iFishIBelong, and to support Headwaters and POF and United on the Fly and Ubuntu Flying Lures. And as Molly said, you get out what you put into this. So say hello, meet people, and you truly will meet your bestest friends that you probably would never have thought your paths would cross. So yeah.
And also, if you have somebody that doesn't fish or doesn't fish yet, they can still join us. We've still got spots available. And again, the dinner itself is $30. And so with our tickets, you get you get that plus the Saturday events and things. So, I mean, it really is it's a great cause. It's a great benefit. It's a great time. So got a buddy that you can bring with you, there's still time.
Yep. And if you need tippet and those last minute flies and tackle, go to Headwaters, support Headwaters, and because that's they've been so good to us and just a huge integral part of the Western North Carolina community. And so the more we can support them, the better. So, all right. Well, thank you all so much for, again, your time, and any questions, reach out, and we're here for you, and join WhatsApp.
Thank you.
All right. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful evening. Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Good night, all.
Good night.
See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you.